Now let me ask you something. How many times have you heard Node.js but never felt competent to explain what it actually is? Not how to use it, not how to install it, but what it really is. Most people start Node.js by copying a code, but that works for a while. But sooner or later things break. Async code feels confusing, errors feel random, and suddenly backend feels hard. That usually happens for one reason: the fundamentals were rushed. So before we go ahead, let me clearly set expectations. In this module, we are not building apps yet, we are building understanding. Understanding that stays with you even when frameworks change. So in the last episode, we understood what backend is. Now there is a very natural next question. What exactly is Node.js and why do people even use JavaScript for backend? Once this is clear, truly clear, everything else starts clicking. The event loop won't feel scary, async code won't feel magical, framework won't feel overwhelming, they feel logical. This episode is the foundation for everything that comes next. Very quickly, just a reminder, backend is a part of an application that runs on a server. When a user clicks something in the browser, the backend decides what logic to run, what data to fetch, and what response to send back to the user. We have already covered this concept in the previous video, so just keep this concept in mind as we move forward. So that's it, stop and move on. So now let's talk about a very important problem. So before 2009, JavaScript was designed only for one place, that is inside the browser. Its job was simple: handle button clicks, updates the UI, and validate forms. Inside the browser, JavaScript runs in a sandbox. Sandbox means JavaScript cannot freely access files, the operating system, or databases. These restrictions exist for security reasons. Because of this, before 2009, JavaScript could not be used to build servers. So backend development was done using other languages. For example, PHP for websites, Java for enterprise systems, Python for API and scripting, and C++ for performance critical systems. This creates a clear separation. Frontend was written in JavaScript, but backend was written in completely different language. So developers had to learn multiple languages, switch mental models, and maintain larger, more complex systems. So traditional servers at that time were mostly blocking. That means a request comes in, the server waits until it finishes, then moves to the next request. This approach worked, but it did not scale well for real-time applications. And there were early experiments with server-side JavaScript even in 1990s. But they never become mainstream. Why? No powerful JavaScript runtime, no package ecosystem, and no strong developer community. So before 2009, JavaScript was considered as a browser language, powerful for UI but not suitable for serious backend development. And this exact limitation is what Node.js, released in 2009, was created to solve this problem. Now let me ask you something honestly. So if JavaScript was meant only for browsers, then how companies like PayPal, Netflix, Uber using JavaScript on backend? The answer to that question is Node.js. So what exactly is Node.js? In simple words, Node.js lets us run JavaScript outside the browser. Normally JavaScript runs here inside Chrome, Edge or Firefox. It listens to button clicks, changes UI and talks to the APIs. But backend work is different. We need to read files, talk to the databases, handle thousands of users, run on a server. Browsers can't do that. That's where Node.js comes in. Node.js is not a programming language and it's not a framework like Express or Next. Node.js is a runtime environment. Runtime simply means an environment where your JavaScript code can actually run and do work. Node.js acts like a bridge between JavaScript and the operating system. Because of Node.js, JavaScript can now read files, handle network requests, connect to the databases, and run on servers. This single idea changed backend development forever. Now let us understand it with visuals. Your JavaScript code sits at the top. Node.js provides special APIs that JavaScript alone does not have. Under the hood, Node.js uses the same V8 engine that Chrome uses. And finally, everything talks to the operating system. This is the foundation of everything we will be building later. Now let's talk about something very important, the V8 engine. When you write the JavaScript, the computer does not understand JavaScript directly. So your CPU understands only machine code, zeros and ones. So there must be something in between that translates JavaScript code into something the CPU can run. That something is called a JavaScript engine. V8 is a JavaScript engine created by Google. Its job is simple. Take a JavaScript code and convert it into the machine code that the CPU can execute. So Node.js does not execute JavaScript by itself. Node.js uses the V8 engine internally to run the JavaScript. One important thing to remember, Node.js uses V8, but Chrome is not Node.js. Same engine but different environment. Now listen carefully, Chrome uses V8 to run JavaScript inside the browser, but Node uses V8 to run JavaScript outside the browser, that is on the server side. We often hear Node.js is very fast, but fast doesn't mean magic. So the question is, why Node.js feel fast? Most people explain Node.js speed by using these words like asynchronous, non-blocking and event-driven. These statements are true, but here a very important clarification. These are properties, not mechanisms. Right now, we are not explaining how Node.js works internally. We are only describing how Node.js behaves from the outside. So this distinction is very important. Let's take an example. Think of it like this. If a car is fast, fuel efficient and smooth, I am describing how it feels to drive, not how the engine is built. Node.js is the same. Node.js behaves in a way where it does not wait unnecessarily, it does not block itself, and it responds quickly. So because of that behavior is why people call Node.js fast. Now let's understand the request flow. A request comes in, then Node.js handles the task and sends a response. So the key idea is Node.js tries to do this without stopping itself. Now at this point, no call stack, no queue, no event loop, no threads, we are not opening the box yet. So for now, just remember one thing. Node.js is fast because of how it behaves, but how it achieves this internally, that story begins with the event loop. There is one more concept you hear a lot with Node.js, that is Node.js is single thread, and honestly that confuses a lot of people. So listen carefully, single threaded doesn't mean single task. Single threaded simply means Node.js has one main thread where JavaScript code runs. That's it, one main thread. But here the important part. Having one main thread, that doesn't mean Node.js can only do one thing at a time, and it does not mean Node.js is slow. Now imagine this single thread handling different tasks, task A, task B and task C, or coordinated efficiently. At this stage, don't worry about how this coordination happens. No internals yet, just remember the idea. Node.js uses a single main thread, but it is designed to handle many tasks efficiently. That's why it works so well for servers and APIs. So now the big question is, if there's only one main thread, so how Node.js handle all of this work without blocking? That's we will cover step by step in the event loop episode. Now let's talk about why many developers choose JavaScript for backend. The biggest advantage is reduced learning curve. Means if you know JavaScript for frontend, then you don't have to learn completely new language for the server side. This makes it easier to build full stack applications. The code you write for the frontend can conceptually match what runs on the server. Consistency helps beginners to understand and stay productive faster. On top of that, Node.js has a huge ecosystem of libraries. You can handle databases, APIs, and real-time features without reinventing the wheel. So remember, reduced learning curve makes JavaScript a great choice for backend beginners, and it sets you up to build full-stack applications efficiently. Next, we will see some use cases where backend JavaScript really shines. Now we know why backend with JavaScript beginner friendly. So let's look at 3 use cases where backend really shines. First, APIs. These are the bridge between your frontend and backend. Node.js makes building APIs fast and simple. Second, real-time applications. Think chat apps, live notifications, or live dashboard. Node.js can handle many users at the same time efficiently. And third, microservices. It means to break a big application into smaller pieces. Node.js makes it easier to run small, independent services that can talk to each other. So in short, Node.js is powerful for APIs, real-time apps and microservices. And this is exactly the kind of projects beginners can start exploring. Here's a simple analogy to understand Node.js without any tech overwhelm. So think of it, Node.js as the engine of a backend car. JavaScript is the fuel, it powers everything. V8 is the combustion system, it burns the fuel efficiently. Node.js connects everything to the operating system, making sure the engine runs smoothly. And that's all you need to remember. No extra metaphors, no confusing layers, just this mental model. Next, we will clarify what we are not doing with Node.js. That is the key concept that most beginners miss. Before we jump ahead, let's talk about what we are not doing yet. This is important because it keeps beginners on track and avoid overwhelm. At this stage, we are not building servers, we are not using Express, we are not connecting databases, and we are not creating APIs yet. Right now, our focus is on earning the fundamentals. Understanding the core concepts makes everything that comes later much easier. Once we have the basics down, frameworks and advanced tools will feel much easier. This approach saves frustration and builds confidence. So for now, we will stay focused on the core concepts and everything else will be coming step by step, and it will make more sense when we are ready. Now that you understand the basics of Node.js, and the next natural question is, if Node.js is single threaded, then how it handles multiple tasks efficiently without slowing down. The secret lies in how Node.js handles tasks behind the scenes, and it uses something called event loop combined with non-blocking I/O. So in the next episode, we will explore how event loop manages tasks, callbacks and asynchronous operations.